Twist and Shout by the Beatles. Now I'll just play the intro, the first 4 bars, and I want to take you step by step through the basics we need to learn for this really cool bass riff, as well as some nice arpeggio applications, how Paul McCartney probably might have put this riff together. It's very, very well done, very cleverly written. But please make sure you do have a copy of the PDF with you so you can relate to what I'm going to be talking about. You can see the numbers and the notes. So if you need a copy of the PDF, drop me a WhatsApp or inbox me. I'll send it to you free. But let's get going with the first bar. So I'm going to zoom into what is our fretting hand doing. Now I'm going to start with bar number 1, the 0, 2, 4, 5. Please watch my finger numbers. They are clearly marked over there for you. And the first 4 notes are going to simply go. And notice that I use my pinky for the 4 and the 5, although some bassists might prefer to go and use the ring finger. I'm happy with this as well. I just feel a bit more comfortable using the pinky. Once I've done that, I move my hand up, not a big jump, a small jump to the 4 on the 2nd string, which goes 4, 5, 5, like that. And you'll notice once I got my positioning, the next 3 notes, the last 3 notes of the first bar, the hand doesn't have to move. So there's one jump in the beginning, jump, and then I'm there. And then after that, the beginning of the second bar, my first finger's already there. There's the 5, and then the pinky is getting the 7. And you can see that the thumb doesn't move too much. They're supposed to be moving a lot. We want to keep him sort of rather stationary. So those first 3 notes of the second bar are like that. And when I go to the last 4 sevens, it's like that. Now in between you'll see a little funny thing which looks like an artistically drawn 7. It's actually called a rest for those that don't know musical terminology. You'll see the first rest between the 5 and the 4, between the 5th and the 4th and the 5th notes, which is fret 5 and fret 4. So you're going to go rest, rest. And you want those rests to help emphasize the rhythm and to also give a bit more impact into it. So if you play it through one more time a bit slower. We got that. And then onto the third bar, fingers 2 and 1 are ready for the 5, 4. Pinky's doing the 7. And back into fret number 7 on the A string, on your 2nd string, with the middle finger. So it's going to go 5, 4, 7, 5. Now every time you add a new phrase onto this, try and go back to the beginning and join it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start from the beginning and end on those first 4 notes of the third bar. So if you want to play through with 1, 2, 3, 4. And there you have it. Then there's another rest, and you'll see a 4, 5, 5, which is now again, notice that the thumb's not really moving too much, and fingers 1 and 2 are looking after all the 4s and 5s. And then once you've done that on the third bar, you start the 4th bar with a 4, 5, 7, which you've sort of done before. In fact, your 2nd bar and 4th bar are exactly the same actually. So let's take it the whole way through the intro line now. Are we ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. And there's your first part. Now, what I wanted to point out about arpeggios as we go along with this over here, it's basically, this is a D major arpeggio. This note is D, fret number 5 on the A string. So there's your A string, nice and open, B, C, D, for those that don't know the names of the notes. For those that do, that's cool. And this over here is a D major arpeggio. One more time, a bit closer. This is the notes that make up the chord D. If I play from here, this note is G. And those make up the notes for the G major chord. So this is a D, D for domino, arpeggio. And then G is going to start over here. And we can't go any further because there's no more string there, but those are both arpeggios. Okay, now what he's done over here, when he goes, okay, he's actually playing part of the D, and he's going to lead, okay, that note shouldn't have been there, into the G. So he's going from the D chords, instead of doing that D to the G to A, he's playing D like this, onto the G there, and there's your E. And he's using a bit of a reverse sort of arpeggio, going back to the D. And you can see those notes. That's your starting note, but that note there is part of D major arpeggio. That's part of the scale, and there's your root note. So we don't want to get too much into the theory, but this is largely arpeggio based. Now I'm going to start the first verse. I'm not going to go through the whole thing because then you're going to end up with like about a half an hour video. You've got the PDF, you've got the basic technique. Make sure that you also, on your picking technique, that you're doing the following. With your picking hand, obviously no picks allowed for bass players. So a general rule, not a must have. But when I do the first note, okay, I'm resting my thumb on the top string. Okay, when I go down to that 4, watch my thumb. You can see my thumb is resting on the string above the string I'm playing. There's the 4. You can see my thumb, this thumb over here I'm tapping. He follows through, and this stops my hand from doing this. This is a very bad technique. I've seen some beginners do this. Please don't do that. Keep your notes nice and close, your hand nice and close, like it's got the same shape the whole way through. Now I'm going to zoom out a little bit so you can see the picking and the notes together. And I want you to watch it specifically for this thumb, and also this thumb. This thumb over here, he rests on the string above the string I'm playing. And this thumb here, when he gets into position, it doesn't really move around much. Okay, so here we go. 2, 3, 4. You see the little movements there? You want to keep it going. Now, as you were saying earlier about the song as well, once you've got the basic here, it's just a case of learning and reading the tab. For example, the verse again, you got the first 4 notes, then you go in your next chord, and you're going to have, and they're all sort of arpeggio based. See if you can find the arpeggio shapes inside them. They are there, and everything will work out quite well for you. So one more time again, the beginning of the first bar, the first verse. Okay, that over there shouldn't have happened, but it sounded quite cool, so I decided to leave it in. There's little extras you can put in that sound quite cool as well. But keep your hand as stationary as possible. And that part there, that end part of the second bar, this is actually a pure A major. That's your A major arpeggio. Remember, I just showed you the arpeggios now, and it's going to be A major. So if I do the first 2 bars and into the third bar for the verse, it's going to be something like this, a bit more head on. And there you have it. So I'm not going to go through the entire song, like I said, because it's going to be too long, but you got the basics. If you get stuck with a certain bar, with a certain measure, you're not sure the timing, you're not sure of something, drop me a WhatsApp or a message in your inbox, and I'll tell me what measure it is. Like say, for example, you get stuck in measure number 32, bar number 32, then tell me you get stuck there, and I'll prepare a little video and send it straight through directly to you. Overall, I think you should have enough to get going for Twist and Shout. Hope you enjoyed. If you've got any questions, don't hesitate to give me a WhatsApp. Have an awesome week. Cheers.